Hi everyone, this is the Ancient One, driving to Winder for lessons. It's Friday the 13th, another hot day, August the 13th, but we expect that in Georgia, and we're fortunate. The rest of the nation, particularly Northwest, are experiencing record highs. High 90s. We'll probably be about 88 today, tolerable as we say in the South. So I'm looking forward to meeting with Jay and Terry, and I do the buddy plan. It's very popular, 2 for 1 in other words. So if you have a friend or family member that you want to learn with, then it's the second person or student is free. So it's highly successful. I do grandfather, grandsons, grandmother, grandsons, granddaughters, and uncles, and it's a bonding time. And particularly juniors have to be driven to my facility, Pine Hills Golf Club. So this is a chance to spend some good time together and learn together and practice the homework. I have my patented high-tech low-spin ball, which only goes 12 feet, so they can do that in their backyard. And it's a fun learning time. You can learn at any age. And, of course, the imprint airs from 7 to 12, so if you're a junior in that age, you can learn anything, a new language, a musical instrument, a new sports technique. So what I teach is the simplest swing in golf. So we like simple, we like easy. And golf is ridiculously easy if you approach it right. We make it way too hard. So what my focus, of course, I field test everything. I'll be 86 next month. So I feel if this old body can do it, well, just about anybody else can, as long as they can walk, talk, and chew gum. So I just came from Planet Fitness, spent about 45 minutes working out, stretching mainly. And as we get older, our muscles, ligaments shorten. And what I am working on is stretching out, doing a lot of stretching. Because muscles, if they're tight, they don't work too good. So, just like a bow and arrow, you have to pull it up and then let it go. And it's a catapulting motion. And when it's done correctly, it's so satisfying. Just explodes. And my explosion is not as significant as it was even 10 years ago. But I can still do it. I can shoot my age. I played Wednesday and had a great time. We played best ball, which I strongly urge and recommend. It just makes it so much more fun. We all make bad shots, but with 3 other players, you're going to have decent shots, so you continue. We were 7 under par, which is record shattering, but we had our moments, all of us did, so that's what we look for. And there's not the pressure on each shot. You know, I'm thinking of the Atlanta Braves. They finally got to 500. Well, that's the watermark, benchmark. So now they can do some things, hopefully. But they lost last night 12-3 to Cincinnati Reds. So that was going the wrong way. For its previous game, they won in the 12th inning with a walk-off home run by Ozzie, 3-run blast. So that was very satisfying. So ups and downs. We all have ups and downs. So that's life. And I welcome welcome those challenges. So how do we confront and overcome our challenges? My wife, for years, we've been married 64 years. We had a business together, Cunningham Furniture, in Lawrenceville. And every morning she would pray, "Thank you, Lord, for my many challenges." Sometimes those challenges weren't too welcome. But we got through it, and I retired from that business at age 65. So I've been fully in the golf business now for over 20 years. And it's so much fun. I don't have to worry about inventory, shipping, damage, customer complaints. I'm just helping people have more fun. And I'm having more fun myself because I am constantly looking to improve my gamesmanship. And mainly it's right up here. Mental. Using our wonderful supercomputer here. We only use about 10% of our 100 billion neurons. So I'm trying to go for 11, and that would be a significant increase. So the older I get, the more I understand and I'm aware and I know. So this knowledge, I love to share it. I've got over 512 videos on YouTube. And of course, I work in person out in a very healthy environment. And there's a 2.5 mile ceiling. I'm not in an 8-foot or 10-foot high room with enclosed and cubicles. And the scenery is just magnificent. We're considered rural. It's northeast of Atlanta. But everything seems to be growing that direction, but that's progress, I guess. So talking about progress, COVID Delta variant is progressing in a negative way. So I'll be looking to get my booster shot because we know as we get older, our immune system lessens and it can hit hard at any age, but particularly when you're older, it's acceptable to things. So I'm fighting age, I'm fighting being decrepit. Golf is so wonderful. And I'll share this with you. The Swedish Medical Institute made an extensive study on aging. They found out if you're an active golfer, play at least once a week, that you actually will live on an average of 5 years longer than a non-golfer. So it makes sense. You're active, you're breathing good air, and you're using really every muscle in your body. And when I had my Fitbit, I found out although I ride a cart, I would walk on an average of 2.3 miles on playing 18 holes. So walking to the green, tee, searching for balls, never my own, of course. But just, and here's another interesting fact. The golf swing takes about 1.2 seconds. So even if you shot 100, had 100 full shots, that would be a little over 100 seconds. Do the math. That's not even 2 minutes in a 4.5 hour round. So where's the work involved? So I've got some stoppage here, gridlock, moving very slowly. It's not unusual. I'm on University Parkway. It's the Atlanta-Athens connector. And generally you can fly right along 65, 70, but I'm going 10, 15 mile an hour now. So hopefully I get by this gridlock. I can't see it ahead, but patience is a virtue. And while I'm on that subject, patience, we're all patients. We want it yesterday. Well, I'm here to tell you golf requires infinite patience because you're not going to get it yesterday. You're probably not going to get it tomorrow, but you'd like to increase and get better in anything you do. I have seniors, oldsters, that can't break 100. They say they're having the best time of their life. Well, I wouldn't be satisfied breaking 100. That's not acceptable. I mean, shooting over 100. So I want to be the best that I can be. I'm not going to be Tiger Woods. Well, I wouldn't want to be him now. But DeChambeau, and there's a bunch of tremendous golfers. Or some of them are struggling. Rory McIlroy, Spieth, they were at the top of the game. And so it hits all of us. We have valleys, ups and downs. So we're working to get to the top of the mountain. But what is the top of the mountain for you? Well, for a professional golfer, tour player, 64, 65, maybe 26 putts. Well, for a weekend warrior, once a week, I play once a week every Wednesday. And I shoot my age, which is considered good, I guess. I'd like to shoot in the low 70s, but I'm being realistic. And I have a good short game, which saves me. But I use the right techniques and fundamentals. I don't dwell on them, but I want them to be automatic in my right brain. And talking about the brain, we have the left brain, which is the analytical side, the right brain, which is the automatic, the artistic side. And we go down a flight of stairs, for instance. We don't think, where do we put our foot? Which foot do we start with? How do we counterbalance? No, we just trip down the stairs. In fact, it reminds me, my wife Ann, we were married 64 years ago. We took our honeymoon, went to Washington, D.C. at cherry blossom time. The Washington Monument, 66 stories high. We ran up those stairs. Back then we could do that. And we ran back down. Now, about the second or third floor, I'd be stopping and holding on to the rail, of course. Heavy breathing. I'll take the elevator whenever I can. I should take the stairs, but I like easy, not hard. So, but we have to engage ourselves. We have to press ourselves. And on that subject, at age 65, so many people, they spend 40-some years, they say, wow, I'm going to retire, put my feet up, get in a rocking chair or recliner, watch television. Well, Command Center up there says, well, we're not using those legs, we're not doing that, so shut that down. So in short order, you're decrepit, you got a cane, then you got a walker, and your breathing comes hard, your heart is working hard, and it's a downhill, and I see it all the time, just waste away. The old maxim, if you don't use it, you lose it. Now, I ramble on, I bounce around, I'm known for that. But I have we have 58 thoughts per minute bouncing around our head. And on that subject, a lot of my epiphanies, these aha moments, come at night. I don't know if I'm sleeping but when I wake up, I try to write it down. Some of them don't even make sense, but I have had some nuggets. I call them nuggets. And I'm trying to assimilate those nuggets in an orderly fashion, which will help me and my students. So I can provide, and I do provide, not a cookie cutter regimen. I tailor my teaching to my students' background. First, I find out if they have any physical disabilities, knees, back, shoulders, and a lot of us do, but we can work around those. So I prescribe a course of action that will best utilize their abilities, not trying to give them a Tiger Woods workout regimen. Well, look what it did for him. That's a sad story, mainly brought on by himself. What a talent. But we're not all born with that God-given talent. And so we want to use what we have. But I think of it driving a car. I'm going up 4-lane here. There's a truck beside me. We're about 5-6 feet apart. When we're going along 65, 70 miles an hour, and we're missing each other. I've been driving a car for 69 years, never had an accident, knock on wood, but I'm very defensive. I'm in my mirrors. I know who's beside me and back of me, and I allow enough space. And now I do observe the speed limit. I haven't always, but I've steered out of a lot of situations. Someone's coming up behind me, and I'm looking at it. Looks like they're not going to stop. I'll pull over on the shoulder, and maybe they're on the phone. Well, that's not a good thing, but I just heard on national broadcasting, if we're on the phone 4 or 5 hours a day, our cell phones, texting and watching programs, and I'm guilty of a lot of this. Facebook, I'm on that every day. I do subscribe and I do post, but I don't when I'm driving, although I have this mounted on a magnet right here in front of me on my steering wheel. So it's, I don't know if, oh, that's better, I guess. Well, you heard my voice, that's the main thing. So on that subject, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, and I'm guilty of too much of this probably. But I have so much content up here, and I love to share, and I love to help people, and it's just rewarding to me to see the joy, emulation that people have when they're well-struck ball. It just reverberates through your very being at any age, and the satisfaction is second to none. Now, I'm a top-level pool player, but I've only played once in 6 months, or 16 months, I guess. COVID, I just shut it down. I belong to 2 leagues, but I'm not going to be in a room with all those people and with the possibility of those germs, respiratory little moisture aerosol droplets wafting around. But out on the golf course, no problem on. There's definitely a 4 or 5 mile an hour breeze, although yesterday it was deadly calm. But still, you're a good, reasonable distance away. You're not in each other's face. So it's very healthy. It's good for blood flow. It's good for your lungs, breathing, heart. And it's just good for enjoying the fun and fellowship that we have with one another in a playful manner. And there's a lot of trash talking, of course, and kidding, and that's all part of it. It's very healthy for the mind, and mental health is really key. And I hear with COVID and being contained at home, it's tough, particularly for young people. They're doing virtual school, and you hear even young suicide. It's just tragic. So they don't have that interaction. So I think of some of my students. Young Caden is 10 years old now. I started with him at age 7. I've watched him grow and him develop, and he's homeschooled by his mother. His grandfather brings him a good distance from the other side of Athens. But it's so much fun, and they look forward to it. We meet every other Monday. So an hour well spent. We go out there, and I let him drive the cart. That's a highlight of the day for him. And he's very responsible, and they have fun back and forth. And that's the delightful part of golf and life. And what we're looking for is fulfillment. And I want every day, I want to improve. I don't want to go downhill. I like to think positive. And on that subject, I took a course, let's see, it's been over 50 years ago, called Silva Mind Control. And this Mexican immigrant, Jose Silva, he founded this course, and I recognized how important it was. I was into selling and improving my mind, and mind control is exactly what it says. Our mind just bounces around, and I was bouncing the wrong way, I felt. So I took the course, and I was so impressed that I enrolled my wife and 2 kids, and actually my mother-in-law and father-in-law. And what it really what meant to me is I could control my reactions, my attitude, and my mind, my direction. And one of the main elements I learned, just like a computer, if a negative thought comes in, we can hit the delete button to get rid of something that you don't want. Well, the technique I learned with Silva Mind Control, I learned I can say 2 words, and I've said this thousands of times. And the 2 words are cancel, cancel. So if the negative comes in, I dry erase, it's gone. And then I direct my mind to something else. Well, that has been so healthy for me. And it's stuck with me. Of course, today, it would be delete. That's computerese language. But I still use cancel. Because I still have negative thoughts. Everybody does. So my mind's like a garden. I'm trying to put good, nice seeds in there, provide good nutrition, fertilizer, water, have it growing, not weeds. So I have weeds in there, so I'm trying to eradicate, take those out. No, we're moving along pretty good now. That's good. So not to worry. Worry, stress, and on that subject, worry and stress releases a chemical in our brain. It's called cortisol. And this creates a lot of bad things. Stomach ulcers, cancer. It's just terrible. It just so we don't like that. We like endorphins. And I'm a big adrenaline junkie, I have to admit that. But these are good feeling chemicals. Some people choose to get it artificially with pills. That's a short path to nowhere. So I like natural highs. I was a runner. I would run 3 miles every day in the morning. And that gave me, you talk about a runner's high, I don't know if I ever got that, but I felt very alive. Breathing was good, blood flow. And I like to work out for the same, I like golf for the same reason. So they say at 86, I'm in pretty good shape for the shape I'm in. Like Bob Hope, he lived to be 100. He says, if I'd lived this long, I would have taken better care of myself. Well, I never smoked, very little drinking, and so I've had reasonable. I'm not a workout or fitness junkie, but I do like to have good use of my body. And same way with my cars, I take care of them. I'm driving a 2010 Ford Transit, and it fits my needs perfectly. It's only 2 passenger, but I'm the only one that ever uses it. In the back has all my golf equipment, swing aids, and it's a traveling billboard. So I have, of course, my name and telephone number, golf instruction written all over. So it's they say if untold is unsold. I have a lot of sayings I remember. And my mother, she suffered a stroke in her late 80s, and I don't want to go through that. She was paralyzed on the left side of her body in a wheelchair. And I would call her. She lives in Pennsylvania, where I grew up. And when I talked to her, she loved to hear these simple homilies, sayings. I'd say, Mom, if you don't mind, it doesn't matter. And different things that tickled her funny bone. I miss her greatly. It's been 15 years since she passed, but I guess you only have one mother, and that's still hard to accept. But we all go. That's the finality of our finite existence. So, but let's make the most of what we have. Let's be creative. Let's be positive, and let's build and grow and develop and use our mind. So, cheers. I'm signing out. I'm almost to my destination. And please, if you haven't gotten your COVID vaccination, please do. It just makes common sense. Our hospitals are full of COVID, and we need those hospitals for other reasons. Now looks like we're going to need a booster shot for this Delta variant. So when it's available, I will be there in line. And cheers, everyone. Thanks for humoring me and sharing some rambling time with me. And I love you all. Take care. This is the Ancient One.